So we try to get as much input as we can so that way this plan is reflective of our community.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve Stoller.
And I'm Shauna Haley, and this is Inside Plano. Well, welcome back to Inside Plano. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Shauna.
It's a wet and rainy day as we're filming this, but that's appropriate because we're wrapping up the year, and we've had a busy year here on the podcast.
Winter has arrived.
It has. It's no longer coming. It's here. It was like an overnight thing. You know, this year we've spent a lot of time on the podcast talking about what makes Plano great. We've talked about how we're pursuing economic development opportunities, increasing business vibrancy. In fact, we'll get to who our guest is in a minute, but talked about increasing vibrancy in downtown and what downtown's doing to activate, as well as those wonderful things like our libraries and our award-winning parks and recreations. But today we want to talk about something that's totally different and kind of something that does make a great community that you might not think about, the arts.
Plano is creating a cultural arts master plan, and we're excited today to give you a behind-the-scenes look at what that means and how you, our residents, can help shape it. So joining us today is our good friend, the lead for the project, Plano's downtown manager, Michelle Hawkins. Welcome back to Inside Plano, Michelle. I think this is your third appearance, which would make you the highest number of appearances of any guest.
I appreciate it, and I'll come back anytime you guys ask me to.
And we will ask you to come back, probably many times. Well, Michelle, let me start off by asking you, so Plano's creating its first ever cultural arts master plan. What exactly is that, and why is the city investing in this process?
So a cultural arts master plan it's more than a strategic plan, but I'm going to use strategic plan because that makes sense to most people. But it sets your vision, your goals, your mission of where, and it gives a snapshot of what we have now and where we want to be, and then what are the steps that we need to take over 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years to get there. So that's what our cultural arts master plan is. We don't currently have one. We never really have had one. So this is going to help the city be more concentrated with their efforts in the arts.
When did this process start?
In the fall of 2022, there was a subgroup of the Collaborative Arts of Plano that came to council, and they asked for one. They wanted to know. They wanted to be partners in growing our arts community and where we want to be. And so in order to do that, we have to know where we're going. So they asked for one. A council and city manager felt like it was a great opportunity, and they built it into the budget for fiscal year 2023-2024. We selected our consultant in February of this year and got started working with them in the spring.
Well, can you tell us what value a strong cultural arts scene brings to a city like Plano?
You know, so the way that I put it for most people is when you go and visit other cities, what do you come back talking about? So it's the personality of that city, it's the uniqueness of that city. You typically come back talking about whatever cool public art installation, temporary art, murals, shows you've seen. So it helps with your economic growth, but it also helps with your community identity, your local pride, and bringing people together.
Well, I happen to know, because you and I have been working together on this project, that the city has invited residents to participate in providing input into the plan. Why is it important to hear from residents in general? And honestly, is it too late for people to participate at this point?
Okay, we'll start with the first one.
Yes.
Right? So our Plano has a very diverse community, which makes us very unique. Hearing from all those different cultures and people and ideas and ages helps make this plan more authentic to Plano. It makes sure that everybody is heard. Is there underserved groups that we're not hearing from? So we try to get as much input as we can so that way this plan is reflective of our community and will be more sustainable, because if the community's like, that's my plan, then it's going to be successful. And there is still opportunity to participate. There's a couple more pop-up events that are on our website, and there's an online survey that's still open through December 15th.
Plano is already home to some incredible organizations and events that deal with the arts. How will this build on what we already have here?
Hopefully bringing more visibility I don't think that people think of Plano with an art scene, but we have a very vibrant art scene. And by having a plan, concerted efforts, communication, that people will start to realize what we have and in return grow our art scene.
What are some of the outcomes you hope to see as a result of this plan?
So the consultants will tell you we'll hear about that in the spring. So it's kind of early for me to say what the plan's going to bring in it. What I would like to see is a communications plan, so that way people know where to find our art scene in Plano. I would like it to be reflective of our community. I would like for people to be proud of the plan.
Well, so if there are listeners who want to follow along with the process or they want to find out more information, where do they go to get that?
So they can go to the website, which is plano.gov/cultural arts plan. Is that correct?
I believe that is correct.
Plano.gov/cultural arts plan will give the timeline of where we are, how we've gotten here. It'll also have the community survey. I think there's also a vision board that's still active over there too. That's more of a public board, so you can see other people's comments.
Well, we can't end this show at all without talking about where we are. Steve and I both kind of wandered through this space, and we're in awe with the different things that we saw. So where are we, and what is this?
We are at 1020 Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the first floor of one of the Murata properties here in downtown. It faces the DART tracks by McCall Plaza. This is a collective, it's run by a collective group of artists that also have some downtown businesses or invested interest in downtown, and they feature different artists from the area. It's not necessarily Plano only, but you can come in here. I believe their hours are Thursday through Sunday in the evenings, and then special events as well. They'll be open for the Sip and Shop for Thursday from 5 to 8. And usually this gallery makes it a party. So if you're going to come to the Sip and Shop and come to the gallery.
Michelle, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It's really exciting to see the city celebrate the arts and support the arts as well. It'll be interesting to see how the cultural plan turns out.
Absolutely, and I would encourage everyone to go online, go to the website we mentioned, plano.gov, Cultural Arts Plan. You know we're going to put that in the show notes, so you don't have to write it down. But this is your time to really contribute your input into the future of creativity in Plano.
Michelle, we'll see you soon for appearance number 4.
Yes.
You had something to add?
The first draft of the plan will come out at the end of February.
End of February, and it'll be, I'm sure we'll be talking about it maybe in a future podcast, but it'll also be available on that website, and
yes,
I know
absolutely.
the city will be sharing it out in our normal channels, so it'll be in their newsletters, et cetera. And is there opportunity for additional public feedback at that point, or is it a reveal in council?
At the first, at the unveil of the first draft, then there is still opportunity for feedback.
Okay, well, very good. Well, we're excited about it. And everybody, if you have additional questions about the plan, we'll make sure that you have the links that you need to find it. Until then, other ideas for shows. We're at the end of the year. I cannot believe it. As we're going into 2025, we're programming out the calendar for what we'll be talking about. So if you have thoughts on show ideas, you know how to send them to us. Ask Plano at plano.gov. And until then, I'm Shauna Haley.
I'm Steve Stoller. Thank you.
And that's it for our Inside Plano. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did doing it.
If you have any comments or suggestions, send them to us at askplano@plano.gov. Bye.
Talk to you next month. The Inside Plano podcast is brought to you by the City of Plano.